Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Doritos Trains and Things. Or, I guess, as Wilmer put it, John's Trains and Things. Great to see everybody here. We've got quite a few in here. Sparky's here. RU Naked 4, Roy, Art, PDRR Engineer, Mark from M&M Rails, Dwight, Chuck, Sean McGee, Dustin, and Jerry's here. Hey, Brian, good to see you. And Tom's here. Great to see you, Tom. Hope you're feeling better. Let's see. Who did I miss here? Hope I didn't miss anybody. Probably did. Chuck, I think I said him. Ron Brights is here. Nancy from the Spirit of Colorado Railroad, N-Scaler. Joe Rader's here. And Melvin Fackler. And I really hope I got everybody. We'll give everybody a few minutes to get in here and say their hellos. Craig Thatcher's here, my good buddy Craig. Craig was gracious enough to let me use some of his music tonight. So thanks a lot, Craig. I really appreciate it. So as you all know by now, our buddy Tom is in the hospital. We all hope he's doing better. Wish him well. And Tom, we got a bunch of people saying prayers for you, my friend. Let's see. We got Art, Wilmer, Mark from M&M Rails, Ray Boble, Nate and his wife, Digger Evans, Rick Bailey. Let's see. Anthony Dodge, Dwight, Dale, Chuck, Regan from the Black Mountain Station. And there's probably a whole bunch of others wishing you well, Tom. So you got to get out of there as quickly as you can. That's hospital's no place to be. So I hope everyone's doing well tonight. I thought, let's see, Craig Thatcher has music. Craig Thatcher, Sparky Craig Thatcher is an awesome musician. He's a singer, songwriter, guitarist. He's, I don't know what you call him, ambassador or whatever for Martin Guitar. He's well known here in the Lehigh Valley, but he's also toured and performed around the world. So yeah, Craig is an awesome musician, and Craig's a really good friend. I'm really glad to see him in here tonight. So I thought what I would do tonight, since this was a little last minute, I thought I would finish up a scratch build project that I've been working on. This was going to be a video, so we'll just be finishing it up tonight. But let me give you a little bit of background on what this is. Let's see. Tom says he has to pass his stress test in the morning. Well, good luck with that, Tom. We certainly hope you do. And Bill from the New Fenris Railroad. Good to see you, Bill. Let's see. Yes, Art. Craig is an awesome musician. That's just one of his songs that I picked out of many. He's definitely my favorite artist. Heath, how are you? Good to see you, my friend. Yes, yeah, now that you're here, we can start. Anyhow, before I moved to Sweetland, which is where my current layout is based, I lived on a little dead-end street. And by dead-end street, I mean it was a driveway. Two cars couldn't... yeah, Art. No Arduinos tonight, Art. But maybe in a future Sidetrack Sunday we'll have some. Anyhow, this was a little dead-end street. Well, excuse me, Sparky. Yeah, they probably don't have Doritos in the hospital, but we had some here, and I sent some over to Tom. I do hope he got them. All right. Anyhow, I lived at the end of a little dead-end street that really was a driveway. Two cars couldn't pass each other. And it was surrounded on two sides by, or actually 2/3 of it, was surrounded by very heavy woods. Running through the woods was a creek. And for those of you who aren't from southeastern Pennsylvania and don't know what a creek is, it's a creek. They're usually little, more like a babbling brook type. And it ran through the middle of these woods, and it emptied out into a field, which many years prior to me living there was a farm. It was a dairy farm. And if you follow the creek back through the woods, it started back at the back of the woods. It was a fairly steep cliff, and the creek entered from a spring in the side of the cliff. And it was a lot of rocks and very heavily wooded. So with all the trees and the leaves and the deadfall, I'm sure the spring, the mouth of the spring got fouled on a regular basis. So at some point, the farmer decided he didn't want to keep going up there and cleaning out the mouth of the spring, so he built a spring house. And it was just a stone structure. There was no floor, of course. It just sat on top of the spring, and it was just 3 walls with a metal roof and a metal door. But as kids, that was just too much to pass up, and we spent a lot of hours there playing there. So I wanted to include that on my layout. Yes, Sparky, you do have a wrench, and if you want to boot somebody, Heath is there, and I think he's raising his hand. So let me put up here. Like I said, this was going to be a video, so let me put up here a video of what I've gotten to so far, and I'll narrate that. So I started here with this drawing of that I did in Photoshop. Let's see, wait for this thing to catch up to me. It's a little bit behind. Okay, here's the drawing I made in Photoshop, and from there I just used balsa wood to build this little mold. As you can see here, with a piece of cardboard, I put in a door, which will just be the recess for the door to the spring house. I'm pouring this out of plaster, and I used some fabric dye, some black fabric dye, to color the water, so that my plaster would be a real dark gray when it was dried. So it saved me a lot of time trying to paint it. Let's see, Heath, you really are supposed to have a wrench. I'm going to have to look into that. Sorry about that. So here it just mixes. This is just regular plaster. Just mixing it, typical 2-to-1 mixture or thereabouts. Really just judging it by eye. Hey Ray, great to see you. Thanks for stopping in, man. That's just a piece of broken laminate countertop that I use for the base, and that makes a really good base for these molds, since it's a nice, smooth, flat surface, and it gives you a nice surface for what's going to be the front of my my spring house when this is all dried and taken out of the mold. So now, after I've taken the mold apart, which was really simple, the balsa wood was just held together with Elmer's glue. And the spring house actually came out a little bit darker than I wanted. So I'm going to put on a little bit of light gray paint here and then wipe off most of it, just to tone down the black of the spring house. It looks like chocolate pudding. Yes, Jerry, it did look like chocolate pudding, although I'm sure it wasn't quite as tasty. So I'm wiping off a good bit of the gray paint. I just want to tone this black down a little bit. I was expecting the fabric dye to fade a little bit more than it did. So this really didn't take very long at all. By coloring the plaster first, it really saved a lot of drying time. Plaster takes, I'm sure you know, if you painted plaster, it takes quite a while to dry. It just soaks up the paint, so it's pretty thirsty stuff. Hey, Dwayne, great to see you. Glad you could stop in tonight, man. Let's see, take a quick look at chat, see if I missed anybody. I hope I didn't. If I did miss you, I'm sorry, and I really appreciate you being here. Okay, so here I'm still just continuing to put the that light gray paint on, and I'll wipe most of that off. All right, so now I'm going to carve the sides of this, and these are just random sized stones. So rather than carve them individually, I'm using the side of a saw blade here so I can cut all of the horizontal grooves in one pass. This is a very small spring house, and it would be a real pain in the neck to carve them individually. Since they're all random with stones, this actually worked out better than I was hoping it did, and saved quite a bit of time. So this is just really, for the most part, one pass. I think I ended up making 2 passes on this front side because I didn't get, the stones were actually a little bit thicker than I wanted them on the front. And I'm just cleaning off the, yeah, so I'll go back here and scrape in another set of mortar lines across the front, make those stones just a little bit smaller. And then after that, it's just a matter of scratching in a few vertical lines between the stones. I don't have to worry about the back half of the building since it's going to be buried into the hillside. So I'm just really carving in enough to suggest the mortar lines between the stones. I'm not worrying about creating each individual stone. And I'm not going to do the back side at all. And I'm just going to do the front half of the 2 sides and the front wall, since really that's all that's going to be seen. I really have no idea how big this spring house was. Once you went inside, it was as dark as can be. I don't think I've ever seen anything as dark in my life. And there was just 2 ledges that were about 8 inches or so wide that ran along the base of the sidewalls. And I don't know anybody who ever went to the back. In fact, my cousin and I went further back than anybody we ever knew. And when you went back about 7 or 8 feet, the ledges started to crumble. And like I said, it was as dark as can be, and we had no idea how deep that water was or what lived in it. So that's where our guts ran out. It probably wasn't very deep, but to young kids with an imagination, it was pretty deep, and there were probably all kind of creatures in there. So that little recess that I made in the front for the door, all I'll do with that is I'll just paint it black. And when I put the door on it, I'll leave the door slightly ajar so that you can see that there's something in there, but you would never see, towards the back of it because, well, you wouldn't see that if you were looking at the real thing either. So, and I'm just finishing up here, carving the side here. Check chat here real quick, see if I'm missing anybody. I don't think so. Anthony, Georgia Sunbelt, thanks for stopping in. It's great to see you, man. Steve, 87th PSAP. Glad you could make it. Let's see. All right, so let's should be just about finished carving this side up here. And we'll go on with the next step. This project really didn't take long at all. This is what you're seeing here is real time, and I cut out very little of the repetition. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just adding a black wash, and I'm sorry, but or you'll see it in a second here. Sorry, I'm a little ahead of myself. Once I clean off this, clean off all the scrapings. This is a black wash I made out of oil paints, and I'm real sorry, but my hand wasn't in the frame, so you don't really see what I'm doing. But all I'm doing is just washing it over the surface and wiping it off just to get some of the black paint down into the mortar joints. And let's see, now I'm just going to go across with some white paint and just some very light dry brushing just to bring out some of the stones a little bit. And that will just about bring us up to where I am now. And as soon as we get this dry brushing here done, we can go live and finish up this project. I like working with plaster for anything that's stone or concrete, just because of the way it takes the paint, and it just you end up with so much depth of color. It's probably not going to show up real well on camera, but you can see it, when you're looking at it in person. All right, let's see. Am I missing anybody? I hope not. Alright. Let's see, we should be just about finished here. Okay, that's it. Alright, so this thing there's a little bit of delay here. Okay, so that's where we are now. I'll show you a much better view of it, but here is the spring house. I'm going to switch to a top-down view where you can see it a whole lot better than this. Let me do that now. All right. Maybe you can't see it all that much better. Here's the spring house now, and the only thing left to do with it is to add on the roof and the front door. So the roof and the front door. Let me wait for this thing to catch up here a minute. So the roof and the front door are made out of this aluminum foil tray. This came from a Tasty Cake pie, for those of you who know what Tasty Cake are. It's just mass-produced snack pies, and that's what I'm making the roof and the door out of. So what I did is I've already gone ahead and cut the roof and the door out, and I've spray painted it with a little bit of, extremely dark brown paint. It's called cappuccino. No, it's not cappuccino. It's I'm sorry, cafe or something, coffee, something like that. It's very dark brown. It's almost black. But it does give a pretty nice looking old metal look to it. So now I'm just going to rust this thing up. This thing in reality was very rusty. So I'm just going to be getting a little bit more light here, I think. Should be a little bit better. I'm really just dabbing the color on here, very dry brush style. I want it an effect like pot-marked rust all across the roof and the door. It was just very rusted, the actual roof and the door, and it was just covered with little pot marks and little where the rain and everything had eaten away at the metal for the years and left the little bubbles of rust all over everything. So I'm starting out here with a very dark brown, which probably isn't showing up very well on camera, but again, it will show up much better in person. But now I'm adding in some burnt sienna, which is a much more orange color, and will look like newer rust. The first layer of brown would be the older rust that loses its color over time. So this, and I'm going to concentrate mostly on the corners and the edges. And just very randomly dabbing them in. Like I said, this brush is one that I hadn't cleaned too well at one point, and it's very stiff now. But it works out really well for getting this effect. And really, the key to this effect is not having any sharp edges. So any sharp edges that I see, I'm just going to dab them until they disappear. So this is alright. I think I need a little bit more on the corners. And let's see. Like I said, this project didn't take long. Like anything else in this hobby, there's a lot of drying time. So something that I was working on over a period of a couple of weeks, but really only 5 minutes at a time. So it's kind of project that I like to do when I'm busy, because I can take a break from working without actually taking too much time away. So there's the roof. Now here's the door. You can see, and let me see if I can get a pointer here. Okay, so you can see where I cut the door so that it will fit, that it will cover the opening in the in the spring house, but I left these little tabs here, which are cut a little bit shorter, and I will end up gluing them on the inside jamb of the door. So I'm not really worried about getting any rust on them. You'll never see that. All right. And that's about all there is to that. Now it's, again, back to drying time. And once it dries, I can attach them to my spring house and put on the layout. So let me switch back here. So that's about all there was to that. That was a really quick project. It's going to be a lot of fun when it gets on my layout. But that'll have to wait until I get the roof finished and the door put on, and get the terrain around it in place. I have started on that, but there's still a way to go. Let me take a look at chat here and see how we're doing, see if I'm missing anything. I'm sure I am. Let's see. Yeah, you know, Heath, not listening to people on the web is probably a good advice from your doctor. There's probably more of us that could take that advice. So let's see, we're about 32 minutes in. That's really all I had planned tonight. That was I realized that was a little short, but it was kind of short notice, so I just threw that together so I had something to not bore you guys with tonight. So if anybody has any questions or anything you want to chat about, speak up. I'd love to hear from you. Like I said, I did have some Doritos. These were actually left over from last Monday that I had a bag ready as to bribe Tom with, but unfortunately our live stream just didn't work out, so I ended up eating them all week. Tom, I'm sorry, but they were good. So let's see here. Did I miss anybody? I'm sorry, folks. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anybody here. Steve, 87th PSAP, I think I said hi to you. Ron Brights, I think I said hi to you. I know I said hi to Dwight and Dwayne. All right, I think I'm caught up with everybody. So this spring house, like I said, this was a lot of fun. Some of the woods that the spring house was in will end up being on my layout with a few of the scenes from my childhood, and of course the creek. Can't have the spring house without the creek, so that'll be there. Like everything else, though, of course, it won't be full scale. That would really be a lot of fun. That was a great place to hang out. It was a wonderful place to grow up. Like I said, it was a little dead end street. There were only about 12 houses on the street, and we knew everybody that came up and down, everybody that visited, and it was there weren't a lot of kids. I mean, I had two friends growing up, and and my cousin lived there. But so there wasn't a lot to do as far as having kids around. But with the woods, we had plenty of things to do. And let's see, I'm kind of thinking that my chat froze here. Did it? Maybe not. Yeah, I think my chat froze here. Let me see what I can do about that. Okay, yes, it looks like my chat did freeze. Debbie's here. Hi, Debbie. How are you? I hope Tom's doing better. Dale, great to see you. Dave's Trains, thanks for stopping in. Mystic Southern Railway, and there's Digger. Digger, thank you so much for being here. This is kind of late for you. I really appreciate you being in here. And Jason, the Train Freak's here. Good to see you, Jason. Let's see, anybody else? Wilmer, thanks for coming, Wilmer. It's great to see you. Let's see here. I think I might have caught up to everybody now. Sorry about that, folks. I guess my chat froze since I didn't see a new comment for over half an hour. So if anybody had any questions or anything for me, I'm sorry if I missed you. Please post it again, and I'll do my best to answer you. Roy Smith, great to see you. John, didn't I have trains when I was a kid? Well, yeah, actually, my father really had an amazing layout. Grandpa Rails, JD, how are you? Thanks for stopping in. My father's layout was pretty amazing. It was 3 decks. The trains didn't go between the decks. They were 3 independent decks. But this was a layout that he put up every year at Christmas. It was huge. The first deck took up about 60% of our living room and all of the attached sun porch. The second level took up about half of the area of the first level, and the third level was just a folded dog bone. But this thing was huge. He would start November 1st every year. He would have it up and running by Thanksgiving, and we would run trains through January, and he would tear it back down again. It wasn't a highly scenic layout, certainly not by our standards today. The grass was all grass paper that was just folded over the edges of the plywood. The buildings still sat on top of the grass paper. Nothing was set down in. The people that we did have around, most of them didn't stand up, at least not for very long. We did have one guy who fell over so much that we just ended up laying him face down in the middle of the street, and he became the town drunk. Debbie said Tom has a blockage in his heart. Oh, Debbie, Tom, I'm very sorry to hear that. I hope Tom's all right. When I spoke to Tom earlier today, he sounded great. I'm kind of surprised to hear that. Debbie, please give Tom my best and the best from everybody here. We hope he's back on his feet real soon. Anyhow, this layout was pretty impressive layout, and we even had a functional waterfall. The first year was really pathetic. It was just a trickle, but by the second year, it was pretty convincing. So yes, Roy, I did have trains as a kid, but there was also lots of time when the trains weren't up. So Yeah, there you go, Sparky. Cool Ranch Doritos for Tom. Maybe that'll take some of the stress off his heart. Randall Ellison, it's great to see you. Thanks for stopping in, and I'm glad you could make it. Dave BNSFN scale. I don't think I said hi to you. I'm so glad you could make it. Blocked with Doritos. Well, Tom, it's an empty bag here, so I won't be sending you any Doritos. The blockage is probably a boxcar because trains ran through his veins. Yeah, that's probably right, Rob. A boxcar full of Doritos. Can use some dip. That's it. Some dip to help those Doritos go down. Let's see here. So let's see. I agree, Anthony. Nacho cheese is the only way to go. Let's see. Hope Tom gets. Let's see. Randall Ellison says, "Hope Tom gets better." Pretty scary situation. We actually lost a club member due to a heart attack. Yeah, no, we don't want that, Tom. Get better and get out of there as quickly as you can, sir. Let's see. See if I missed anybody. Ken Amos Jr., how are you, Ken? Thanks for stopping in. I'm sorry I didn't see you in here earlier. Just scrolling back through chat to see if I missed anybody or get caught up a little bit. Rick Bailey, Rick says my lift out would work great for his bridge. Yes, I agree, Rick. Especially as tall as you are, you don't want to duck under. It's actually a pretty simple thing to build, Rick. I send you the drawings I have anytime. Heath wants to know how they administer a stress test. Is it something you can practice? Well, let's see. When my father went through a bunch of stress tests, and yeah, all that practice didn't seem to help him. Let's see here. Did I miss anybody else? Who brought the donuts? Oh, the donuts, that's usually Royce. Royce Smith's job is usually bringing the donuts. But I haven't seen any. Sparky wishes they made a zesty cool ranch. He'd be in heaven. Oh, Joe, you had a heart attack? All right, well, glad that you're doing well since the stent. And yeah, quitting smoking, that's a tough thing. Let's see. Exercise. Yeah, Roy Smith's exercise consists of running his trains. Yeah, I think that's what most of our exercise is, Roy. No, Roy, I haven't patented that lift-up bridge yet. Unfortunately, it costs a lot of money to patent something. Nacho cheese long johns, huh? All right, Rob. Oh, Digger, you had a heart attack in 2012. Wow. Randall, no, I did not see Scale Train's announcement yet. I did see that they posted a video, but I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. And Rick's drooling over a cheese-dusted Krispy Kreme donut. Wow. Let's see. Quit smoking. That's yeah, Sparky. That's how I felt for a long time. But at some point in time, you got to get smart and quit. Yeah, Rob, I'm sure you did catch on fire. So let's see how we're doing here. So, okay. Heath's favorite donuts are anything from the cinnamon snail. Never heard of it. That must be a New York City chain. A coffee and pie Doritos. There you go, Dale. That's something for Lulu to add to the menu. Let's see. Susie Q's. Actually, Susie Joe's in Bridgeport, where I'm modeling, are the best donuts ever. Let's see. Show me not heard of those. Let's check that. Let's see. Okay. Good use for the crumbs. All right, Dave. So let's see. What time are we at here? Oh, it's only 20 of. All right, we still got some time. So did anybody have any, let's see, what flavor pie was in your tin? What flavor pie was in your tin before you repurposed? Rick, I'm not quite sure what you're asking me there. But one of my favorite pies is raisin pie, which is an old Pennsylvania Dutch pie that my mother's mother used to make, which is absolutely fantastic, even though it probably doesn't sound all that good. Yeah, Sparky, Lulu's will definitely catch up to you. What do I have in store for Sunday? Ray wants to know what I have in store for Sunday. Okay, so Sunday night at 8 o'clock is my tasty cake tins. I'm not sure, Heath, whether it was a lemon pie or it might have been an orange cream pie. Both of them are really good. Back to Roy here. What do I have in store for Sunday? I have a couple of tunnel portals that I've been working on that I've cast out of plaster, and I'm going to be staining them and going through the different steps that I do to color them to make them look like concrete and that they've been there for a long time. Let's see. And Sparky wants to know what's the next thing I want to get for my layout. Next thing I want to get for my layout is some more decoders. I have one decoder, and I switched entirely to DCC. So right now I'm really not running trains. So that's the next thing, is get some more decoders so I can get some trains running, and then hook up some switches and be able to do this right. Let's see. Schuylkill River Valley. The West Plains Model Railroad Club is still planning to hold its October and Christmas displays this year. West Plains Opera House. Where's that, Randall? Let's see. Yeah, Wilmer, I think we all should be laying off of Lulu's pies. Let's see. Now Dustin, lemon meringue, that's always been one of my favorite too. So that's a tough one to beat. My mother used to make lemon meringue with squeezing the lemons and making it all from scratch. Rob, no, I have not finished my bridge project. I'm still working on it, but that really took a back seat to getting the track down and getting everything running. And really, that's where my glide up gate is. So until I had that finished, it didn't make an awful lot of sense to finish up the bridge and have it laying around where I could break it. So that's I'm going to be getting back onto that real soon. Rick, I'm using DCC++, but I'm actually probably going to be looking into the DCC++ EX that Tom's been posting some videos about. But I had planned just DCC++. I'll be, assuming I continue to go that way, I'll be building handheld controllers to go with it, and everything will be Arduino based. So it's which is something I enjoy, and besides, it's a whole lot cheaper. And the way I look at it, every $5 or $10 I can save on something like that is 10 or 20 I can spend on trains, and that's a better place to spend my money, I think. Let's see, shoe fly pie. Yes, shoe fly pie is also very good. Corey, how are you? Great to see you. Thanks for stopping in. My grandmother made some killer shoe fly pie. Sorry, Mystic, we're making you hungry. Well, actually, they're making me hungry, too, and I'm kind of stuck here for at least another 15 minutes. So, let's see. Key lime, Art, I do enjoy key lime, but lemon meringue just beats it. Dave, yes, the DCC++ EX does sound fascinating. I want to go back and watch some of Tom's videos and learn a little bit more about that. Let's see. Pecan pie? I could go for some pecan pie. Sean, you've never heard of shoe fly pie? Shoe fly pie is incredible, man. It's a very thick molasses-based pie. Well, Anthony Dodge, I could go for some chocolate cream pie, too. There's nothing wrong with that. You're right, Roy. Pennsylvania is populated by model railroaders and has great food to eat. It's a shame you couldn't make it home this year. I hope you get up here soon. Sweet potato pie, Dale. I'd go for pumpkin before sweet potato pie anytime. Let's see. Heath, yes. Roy Smith is from PA. He's from out towards the center of the state, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. You don't have to go an hour, John. It's just a guide. No, I understand, Sparky, but I don't want to be cutting it short and leaving everybody wanting more. Although that's the actors and the comedians' mantra is to leave them wanting more. So maybe I should. Yes, Rick, it did turn into a dinner pastry counter. You're right. Next year at Strasburg, you're right, Roy. I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. Pumpkin and cherry, you can't argue with those, Steve. I'm much more of a pie guy than I am a cake guy. So you're going to be hard-pressed to find a pie I don't like. Dustin, that's a shame. You should try to reschedule for the middle of May. Let's see. Brian wants to know how I'm viewing the chat. I'm actually viewing the chat through YouTube. The chat on my live page froze up, so I had to switch over to my regular channel page so I could see it. But no, I'm not doing it through OBS. Everything else I'm running through OBS, but not the chat. Chris from Go Big or Go Home. Great to see you. Thanks for stopping in, man. Central PA, Roy. That's what I thought. Thought you were out there around Harrisburg someplace. Right, you're not alone. I can't wait for Strasburg too. I was looking forward to it a few months ago with everybody else, and unfortunately, we just didn't get there. I'll take care, Randall. Thanks so much for stopping in. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you around. Well, John, if you ever end up with a couple extra pumpkin pies, you can always send them over here. Although my grandmother made the most incredible pumpkin pie, her secret was actually my grandfather's secret was to spike it with bourbon. The more bourbon, the better, of course, and it really makes an incredible pumpkin pie. If you haven't tried that, I strongly suggest you give that a try. Okay. I really don't know whether OBS 26 fixed the Mac issues. I don't use the Mac, Heath. I actually use the real computer, so I can't help you much with that. Yeah, Ray, you're about an hour and 45 minutes south of Strasburg. I'm about an hour and 45 minutes east of Strasburg. Let's see. Warm sweet potato pie with ice cream. Well, I certainly wouldn't turn it down, Mystic, but I would go for the pumpkin for sure. You knew I was going to say bourbon, huh? Have you tried that, Sparky? Or are you just a bourbon fan? Whoopie pies for everyone in Strasburg. Are you buying, Roy? Well, before we close up here, I do have a couple of shout outs I wanted to make here. One of them is my Sidetrack Sunday compadre here, Heath, has hit 500 subscribers, and he is now running his 500 subscriber contest. So let's see, we should have there it is. So that's his announcement video. So if you haven't already entered, head on over to Heath's channel to check out this video and make sure you enter his contest. And contrary to what he told everybody, no, I did not suggest that you have to write a 500-word essay. That was all Heath's idea. I told you, Heath, everybody has a way of getting even. And yeah, you know, Heath, that's great. 500 subscribers, that's really fantastic. Heath has been really growing his channel a lot lately. Congratulations, Heath. Great job. Well, yeah, I think, Sparky, I think that's why my grandfather started it. He had 9 kids. So when my grandmother made pies, she made a bunch of pies at one time. And I think that was the idea of the bourbon, too. He wanted to put those 9 kids to sleep. Tom was at 459 words already. Well, Tom, maybe Heath will count that as extra credit. That's right. He said instead of the 500-word essay, there are 8 steps to enter. And I did listen to the 8 steps. You're probably going to wish he stuck with the 500-word essay. I do have another shout out here. Let's see. This guy here, he doesn't have an awful lot of subscribers. Last I looked, he was under 200 subscribers. Wait for this, excuse me, for the stream to catch up here for a second. And that's Bob at the PK&W, the Pahoy, Karankawa, and Western. And yes, Bob, I did that without practicing. And as of now, he's at 156 subscribers. If you haven't seen Bob's channel, you really should go over and check it out. Bob's got a great channel. He does some fantastic reviews, and he's really a fun guy. So I strongly encourage you to stop on over and check Bob's channel out if you haven't done so. And if you like what you see, be sure to subscribe and tell him I sent you. Well, yes, Roy, Heath's contests, they are on the honor system, but I wouldn't put it past Heath to try and check somehow. Let's see. All right, so let's see. Well, we're down to about 8 minutes left. Yes, Jerry, Bob does have some great videos, and his bike trail stuff is awesome. But he also does a lot of reviews of stuff. He made a paint booth. There's a series on how he did that. He's done a whole series on shipping containers printed out of paper, mostly. Bob's got a great channel. I really encourage everybody to check Bob out. And while we're at it, oh, you're welcome, Heath. It's well deserved, man. 500 now, and I can see the next 500 is not going to be far away. Sparky only drinks beer. You're a lightweight, okay. You only drink beer, but you eat the bourbon pumpkin pie. Okay, I got you. Well, Tom, good luck. Don't chase those nurses too hard, and get out of that hospital as quick as you can, man. We want you back here. So go ahead, everybody. Go ahead and promote your channels. Let us know how many subscribers you got. See if you've got any contests coming up that I don't know about. The only one I know about right now is Heath's 500 subscriber contest. So if you got one going, let us know. Everybody here loves contests. Everybody's busy giving well wishes to Tom. They're well deserved. So, well, yeah, that's a good idea, Roy, not to drink and drive trains at the same time. And you notice he didn't say anything about drinking and driving cars, though. Okay, Rick Bailey's at 225 subs. And Rick Bailey, Ray Boble, and Grandpa Rails have a really fantastic series going where they're each building a Center Valley Bridge. And it's going to be a lot of fun. JD has already built one. Ray is a fairly experienced modeler, so he's kind of in the middle. And Rick's pretty new at all this. So you're going to get 3 different takes on the same kit. And they're going to be putting out videos each week, each Sunday at noon, I believe. I'm not sure if they're going to be premieres or just videos. Rick, yes, Rick, the bridge guys. Maybe Rick or John can fill us in on whether that's going to be just videos or premieres. And the first one will be this Sunday on Rick Bailey's channel, and it'll document where they are at this point in their build, and everybody will get a chance for. They'll tell everybody their take on the models, and you'll get to see 3 different approaches from 3 different skill levels. Okay, Ron Brights is at 352. Digger has subbed to everybody who's in here. Digger always does. Digger's a great supporter of the community, and Digger's a good friend. Ray Boble is at 333. Let's see, it's Sunday is the Bridge Guys, Sunday at noon. And yes, don't forget, Sidetrack, the official expanded Sidetrack Sunday starts this coming Sunday. It'll be back here on my channel, so you're going to be stuck with me again. And that'll be at 8 o'clock. And it'll be 8 o'clock from now on every Sunday. The first Sunday of the month will be my channel. Second Sunday will be Heath's if we unchain him and let him out of the basement. The third Sunday will be Jason the Train Freak. The fourth Sunday will be Ray Boble. And when we have a fifth Sunday, well, we'll throw a noose around somebody and drag them in. Thank you, Corey. It's great. Like I said, it's really great to see you here, man. Let's see who else. Dwight wants Heath to make a blooper video on his head popping. Let's see. Dustin's N-Scale Railroad is at 164. And he's going to have a contest where he drops back below 50. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? Okay. The Bridge Guys, they're just going to be videos. And the final video will be live on Ray's Sidetrack Sunday. Let's see. Roy Smith's going to have a contest when he hits 1 million subscribers, which should probably be any time now. So keep an eye out for that. Let's see. Aha. Thank you, Sparky. I forgot to change my camera back. Let's see. I thought John was looking great, Sparky. Thanks, Brian. That's pretty much what I expected from you. Let's see. It is switching back, Sparky. It just takes there's a little delay here tonight for some reason. I'm not really sure. There we go. All right. Sorry about that, folks, although it was probably a better view than you're getting right now. So I want to thank everybody for stopping in tonight. Looks like we have, right now we are at 40 and 20. I didn't see how high we had gotten up to, but I really appreciate everybody being here. And thanks for all the well wishes for Tom. We really hope that he gets out of that hospital and gets back to being here on Monday nights for us. And don't forget, tomorrow night is On Track Tuesday with Uncle Wilmer. That's Indian Head Valley Railroad. And I think that Canadian guy is probably going to go live on Wednesday night. He usually does. Thanks, Jason, Jerry. I appreciate it. I had fun tonight. I hope you guys did too. And of course, don't forget Sparky and Cousin Vinny will be having guests on. I don't recall who their guests are going to be, but they're live streamers. So, Mystic Southern Railroad especially like the pie talk. Thanks, man. We'll have to do that again sometime. Anthony, thank you. I appreciate you being here. Thanks, Heath. I appreciate the comments. And I really appreciate everybody being here. Thanks, Sean. I'll make sure I do a video of the spring house when it gets installed on the layout. Digger, thank you. I appreciate it. Ken, everybody for the kind words. Dale, I really appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate everybody in here chatting and having a good time. So please keep Tom in your thoughts and prayers. And oh, you didn't tell us who, Sparky. Maybe that's why I didn't remember who it was. Okay, I don't feel so bad now. But be sure to keep Tom in your thoughts and prayers. And let's get him back here as quickly as we can. All right. Thanks, everybody. Everybody have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow night over at Uncle Wilmer's for On Track Tuesday.